friends. How is everyone? We're going to be dealing with some bloodroot. You know what bloodroot's good for? It's been used in cancer treatments. It's good for inflammation. It's good for dental plaque. It'll take plaque off the teeth. It'll also take care of helping a cough, bronchial issues too. Okay, herbal constituents. And I was doing some research, as I had mentioned, on bloodroot before I started making this. A family member wanted me to make a salve for them. With bloodroot, as I mentioned, it has all those good properties for, skin cancer, inflammation, cough. You do not want to have zinc chloride. Zinc chloride. Because bloodroot mixed with zinc chloride can't... Oh, my printer just fell. Can damage the skin. It can scar it. So be mindful of that. If you are buying this online, zinc chloride, no, it will do more damage to your skin. So I did a tincture 6 weeks ago of bloodroot. And it's a really, this is dried, of course. There's a lot of rhizomes here. So the rhizomes are those little stringy things off of it. This part, the larger, thicker part's the root. And those rhizomes and the root have the medicine in it. So it's a brown color. It is a root. So you would want to use, get that shut, an alcohol to penetrate that root texture. And we did. And this is it. You can see it's a red color. And my end goal in this is going to be making a salve out of this. I'll be using castor oil so it can penetrate the skin, the layers the deepest. Certain areas of our body have thicker skin. So that's why, castor oil packs are a real big deal. And those just didn't come out, by the way, guys. Those have been around for years. I'm 50, soon to be 57. I remember when I was in high school, my best friend's mom was like, you girls, when she would have her daughter, my best friend, have pain during her period, she'd have her doing an castor oil pack. Castor oil, when I was growing up, taking castor oil internally to help with like constipation and things like that. It's been around for years. But that's because castor oil penetrates the skin the deepest. So that's what I'm going to be using when I see that, how pretty that color is. It's such a deep color. And I'm going to put you guys down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. I have a large measuring bowl. It's about 8 cups. I put this on here, but I always double strain it. You could put cheesecloth here. And I'm doing that in case there's little tidbits. And I saw when I just looked in there, there was a lot of those little pieces on here when I took that out of the jar to show you guys. And I don't want that, see? I don't want that in my salve. And they went down through here too. It's good. The salve's good for skin issues. It's been used for skin cancer. But other treatments is it takes care of inflammation, internally cough. A salve could be used for infections. You can use it as a mouthwash for removing plaque on your teeth. You don't want to take large amounts of it internally, and that's with anything. Even if you are taking colloidal silver, you don't want to take a large amount of colloidal silver. It's also good for the heart. It can relax the muscles. It can improve cardiovascular and respiratory health. It's antibacterial. That's actually what helps with the decay and plaque in the mouth. Okay, so let's move on here. We're going to strain this. Again, I said I'm going to double strain it. This is a strainer that came with my Infusium, which when I'm in a pinch and I'm out of a tincture, I will use the Infusium. But as standard, I prefer the old-fashioned way on making my medicine. But this is a strainer that came with that Infusium. And we're just going to... See that in there? And then I just squeeze it. These roots don't absorb much, so there's really not a lot to squeeze out because they're a very thick root. All right, let me get this over and out of the way here. It's like a burnt red color. I don't know if that's what you guys see on your end or not. This is the same jar. I rinsed it out. Make sure we don't have any of that nasty stuff, and I don't want a lot of water in here because I want my alcohol content percentage to stay up. And then we're just going to put this in here. And guys, that's it. That's all you have to do. Now, you could take this as a tincture if you wanted to. You could use it as a mouthwash if you wanted to. It's actually be kind of strong because it's 151% or proof vodka, so it's really strong. But you could add a glycerite to this to sweeten it up if you wanted to. Glycerite has a long-term shelf life, and it is a good menstruum, just like your alcohol is. We're going to test it on it. I have a family member, 2 reasons they wanted me to make this. They have a spot on their leg that they want to address. And then number 2, for their horse, this has been known to actually remove tumors on animals. So their pet horse has on its leg has a little tumor there, and they want to try this with it. So that's why we made this. But yeah, we can see how it works with skin tags. I use vitamin E. I'm going to use castor oil. But before we can get to that step, because think about it. You know, if I put oil in here with alcohol, that's not going to mix together very well, is it? Nope. So we've got to get the alcohol out. We're basically going to burn the alcohol off. And so we'll do a double broiler setup and apply some heat to it. Not boiling, but we'll get some heat because alcohol burns at a lower level than oil does. So the alcohol will basically steam off. When I say remove it, it's just going to steam off. Those of you who want to get seriously into tincture making and get even more specific on, do you have enough alcohol for this herb versus how much water it needs? Number 1, you'd want to get this book. You guys might want to screenshot that. Okay. This is why I'm saying you may want to look at this book. I'll show it to you here. Okay. Whoops. I'm backwards, so I always get confused. Okay, so you see at the top here, ethanol, so you're talking about alcohol. Percentages for tincturing dry plant material. So then it gives you the herb. And it's telling you there you need a low percentage of alcohol in that first column. You need a medium alcohol. So that means your tincture needs to be at least 40 to 60% of alcohol by volume. And then these would need higher, sometimes up to 95%. So that means, and that's why I usually say it's kind of safe on the majority of the herbs to go with 100 proof, because it's 50% alcohol, 50% water. Now then, on those herbs that you would need a lower one, you would have to add more water, okay, to get more of those water-soluble properties. For some herbs, like barks and resins, you need Everclear, okay, and you would need to not add water. Oh, good. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'll have to watch them. So if you're serious into getting into that, now again, folk method, that's the way people have been making medicine for years and years and years. That book gets more into the science of it, okay? But folk method medicine works, okay? Excuse me. But if you want to test how much alcohol is in your tinctures, you can get a hydrometer. So a hydrometer allows you to test how much alcohol percentage it is. Oh, that makes making tea so much costlier for me. Could I just use one type of alcohol? That's what I said. I use 100 proof alcohol, 50% water. Because when they make the 100 proof, they have to use distilled water. They're using, and they have the alcohol. So I don't have a bottle here because I used all my, I was going to joke around and say I chugged down all my vodka, but I didn't. I used it all. That's what 100 proof is. It's 50-50. You don't have to add any water to it. That 100 proof already has the water in it. So then, like, if you needed a lower percentage, if you were doing something delicate that needed a lower percentage of alcohol, you would want to maybe go like 40% or 80% alcohol. You know what I'm saying? How does it work for apple cider vinegar? Has a high acidity level. And if you've ever made your own apple cider, it's made with water. You got your water. And it's vinegary. So there you go. Yes, you can use it. And then to make an oxymel, which is what you want to make when you're using apple cider vinegar, you would add your honey. And honey is a preservative also. So you've got the apple cider vinegar that's a preservative because of the high acidity, because bacteria cannot grow in a high acidic environment. And then you've got your honey, which also is a good shelf-stable medicinal thing. Okay, so anyway, you can measure your alcohol. This is used for making homemade booze. So it's showing there, telling you to get some booze out of that. You add it in, and everything's in here, all those little gadgets in the pictures. And then you put your hydrometer in there, and it allows you, it tells you how to read it, and it has a chart in there, and it tells you how much alcohol it is. So, for example, if it was 75% proof, you know the other 25 is water. Ooh, look at that inulin down at the bottom. See that, guys? That's good stuff right there. So just an FYI, and you guys starting to do your tinctures and stuff, you may go to pick up your jar and you're going to see that stuff down at the bottom. It's not bad, okay? It's normal. That's just a lot of the inulin in there. And if you shake it, it's fine. Don't freak out. It's good stuff. Do I dye my hair? No. Girlfriend. No. Not at all. This is a faker. I faked you out. These come in handy. Even though they get ratted up, I've got to figure out how to keep them all, you know, because you're using as a... Thanks. I know people at work, because they were, you know, sometimes it's down and they're like, one girl asked me today, she goes, did you dye your hair all gray? I'm like, no, it's fake. So I've got a lot of these. And I finally found the gray that kind of matched because it has brown in it too. Amazon, guys, Amazon. And even if you dye your hair or you don't dye your hair and it's all one color, seriously, guys, this is the most convenient thing to get up and go. It really is. I didn't even put a ponytail holder in my hair today. I just rolled it up and was gone. Would you ever dye the gray? I used to all the time. Dyed it many years. But unfortunately, my gray hair is so coarse, it will not hold the dye in it. There's just no absorption. It's very porous. So I was having to do my roots with that touch-up junk like every week. That's not good for my hair. It's not good for my scalp. You know, I don't want that stuff going into my brain that often. Is bad enough back in the day when I was doing it every 2 months. But little by little, you know, just can't do it. And I know a lot of people will be like, oh, I dye it. Oh, forget. It's less stress. I got to the point I hated dyeing my hair. I hated it. I started to hate's a good word, and I don't hate many things, but I got tired of it. And finally, just one day, I was like, you know, I've had enough of this. Well, thank you. We'll see. Did you buy one? Hello, Joe. I love it. Even when I was dyeing my hair, I had a brown one that I used all the time. And at one point in time, let me ask you guys this. If anybody who has gone through menopause found this to be true. I had used the same color of dye. I went to a friend of mine's a cosmetologist, and she would take me to those cosmetology stores so that you can buy it at a good, better price, their price, you know. And then she would dye my hair at my house. I have a barber's chair upstairs in my Kardashian room and stuff, and she would just come over and dye my hair. Been using the same dye for years. And when I started, I was already going through perimenopause, but it was weird using that same dye. All of a sudden, my hair was coming out black instead of brown. I mean, my hair is brown. But that dye, they hadn't changed the formula, but it was weird because it turned like black. And I found out that happens a lot when you're going through menopause. Your body, something about the dye, it just adjusts to it differently. I don't know. It was weird. But I got on one of these groups on Facebook and stuff like that, and other women had found the same problem. And so just an FYI there. But I got tired of having to pay for it. So anyways, with these things, I had a brown one. I had a black one. At one time, I had blonde highlights in my hair. I had one with brown and blonde. The only thing I put on my hair now is leave-in conditioner and my oil. And that's only on the conditioner's on the ends. Good color then, I guess. Unless you're really taller than me, then you're going to see my little brown button. My brown button. I'm telling you, Cantrell, you got to go get one. You just put it up. And even short hair. You know, you get a ponytail holder, put it up, and just put that thing right on there. And it's a messy bun. Then they have on Amazon, they even have packages, because I bought one, the gray color. It'll even have this, but then it has little wispy strands that hang down, you know, so it's a messy bun with wispy strands. Gosh, I'm having to lean down an awful lot here. Yeah, it's kind of... And then they have a curly one in the package. That one was like $19 for that package. I think it came with 4 or 5 different ones. And this one was $8. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off here. Peace out, friends. Stay healthy.